What's up, guys? My name is Shane Coleman. I'm a first-year physical therapy student. I just finished up my first summer semester, and I begin the first fall semester in a couple days. No more cadavers for me anymore. But I wanted to start this channel as kind of a tool to help me learn and to kind of help myself grow in the field and learn new things I didn't know before, and also to try to help and educate you guys with things that I pick up along the way. So I think it's gonna be really fun. This is the first video I've done, so take it easy on me. But I love to create. It's one of my favorite things to do, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. So it was recently just announced that PTCast received a record amount of applicants for this last cycle, and that would actually be my cycle, the 2025-2026 cycle, with over 19,000 unique applicants. This was absolutely mind-blowing to me. Over 19,000, this is the greatest number they've had since they started recording data back in 2008. The word on the street is that physical therapy is a dying field, that people don't want to get into it, and honestly, for some of that, it's for good reason. But to see a statistic like that was pretty surprising, and it really does beg the question, if more people than ever want to become physical therapists, why are we making it harder to afford the education required to become one? And that's kind of the whole point of this video I wanted to make today. Physical therapy education is currently facing a huge dilemma when it comes to financial accessibility, and I wanted to back this up with some numbers. The average cost of attending a 3-year program is over $74,000 in the United States. This is absurd. And this is excluding huge factors such as gas, rent, personal expenses, vacation, Chick-fil-A, Dairy Queen, any money that you want to spend on any random bullshit. And this number is actually growing. 74,000 is actually a pretty low estimate. I know from personal experience in my state, it is typically over 74,000. Majority of the schools that I tried applying to were over $100,000 for 3 years. A peer-reviewed analysis from 2007 to 2016 shows that tuition has been increasing roughly 6.2% in public in-state DPT programs. And this would be cool if people actually made more money to match this. A 2012 to 2022 analysis showed that entry-level physical therapy salaries outpaced inflation by an enormous 0.1%. And at the same time, the cost of a DPT degree has been outpacing inflation by roughly 0.9 to 1.8%. So what exactly does this mean? It means that the cost of obtaining a DPT has been increasing 1.5 to 2.1 times the rate of inflation. In other words, the financial gap between becoming a physical therapist and the amount of money that you will earn out of graduation is getting wider every single year. So how are people even affording physical therapy school like myself? The answer is I'm not affording it at all. And this is actually where our good friend student loans come into play. Student loans have actually been around for almost 7 decades now, and the way they came about was actually kind of funny. In 1958, the National Defense Education Act was enabled due to the Soviets' launch of Sputnik months prior. President Eisenhower got super pissed off that someone else was beating us, so he enabled an act which allowed the government to lend money to students, really to promote science and engineering programs in the country. Over the decades, federal loans became a major way students could finance college and graduate education when their own income or family resources weren't enough to cover the cost. Student debt also isn't that new. It's actually older than federal lending. Back in the 1840s, Harvard would give its students money so they could pursue classes, and this is really the first documented case of student debt. Now, for the program that I'm in, the amount of debt people have before they even start the program is roughly over $24,000. And Elon Musk just made that amount by the time you could even say your name out loud. So now if we look at student debt after someone graduates a DPT program, this number jumps significantly. A 2021 study showed that students who attended a public in-state school left their program with roughly $103,000 in debt. And for private schools, that number jumped to $138,000. This is a shit ton of money. And this is where we get back into student loans and how the realm of it has changed significantly in the last 2 years. Prior to 2025, physical therapy as a profession was regarded as a professional degree when it came to student loans and federal lending. Now, this changed quickly and recently, and this has significantly damaged the field as a whole, and I'll tell you why. In 2025, the One Big Beautiful Bill introduced by President Donald Trump was created to establish new lines. The Department of Education was now in charge and tasked to define which healthcare professions qualify as professional degrees. A bunch of white guys who know nothing and probably never worked a healthcare job in their life had to figure out what they thought was a professional healthcare job. If your degree in occupation wasn't designated as being professional, the amount of money you could take from the government was significantly reduced. With a professional level degree, you'd be allotted $50,000 a year to take from the federal government to help you pay for your loans. If your degree was not professional, you'd be capped at $20,500 a year, which by no means in majority of PT programs is enough to cover your expenses. And just like that, on May 1st of 2026, the Department of Education labeled physical therapy and other occupations such as physician assistant, nursing, occupational therapists as not being professional degrees. What this meant was that you were now capped at $20,500 a year to somehow pay for the super expensive programs that you're already in. And again, if we look at the average cost of a physical therapy school, it's way more than $20,500 a year. With that cap being put in place, there is an excess, an overflow amount of money that you have to pay. And typically this is normal, but we will get to why this is now an issue. In the United States, the average cost for a DPT program exceeds $20,500 a shit ton. And it's really not even close. The program I'm in, I'm fortunate enough where my overflow amount of money isn't terrible. In majority of programs in this country, it could seriously range from $10,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 of money that they now have to figure out how are you going to pay that. Now, historically speaking, students have been able to use what we call Grad Plus loans to pay for that overflow amount. So let's say your program costs you $25,000 a year, okay? You aren't a professional degree anymore, so you're only allotted $20,500. So you have $4,500 that you have to come up with. Grad Plus loans would have your back. They'd help you out. They'll cover the difference. But guess what? That shit is also going away, and it's actually already gone. In fact, I was actually the last class to even get access to it. The same exact time the Big Beautiful Bill was introduced and signed, Grad Plus loans were eradicated. It states, for any period of instruction beginning on or after July 1st, 2026, a graduate student or professional student shall not be eligible to receive a federal Direct Plus loan under this part. So now you are actually screwed. Grad Plus loans were there to save you. It split the difference. It helped you pay for the overflow amount. It's gone now. So what do you do with that amount of money? The APTA, the American Physical Therapy Association, they call bullshit, saying that, wait, our career should be professional, it's 7 years long. They win, kind of. As of right now, the Department of Education updated their list and put physical therapy on there for the meantime. And I quote, "This may change as litigation in the case proceeds." How long that's gonna be? Nobody has a damn clue. But I just told you that we weren't professional, but now we are on a makeshift list that says we are professional, so what's really going on? And the answer to that is it completely depends on what school you go to. Schools are kind of just picking and choosing if they want to be considered a professional or a graduate level program. And it's risky. It's super risky to say you're a professional level program when it can change in the next few years, and then you have to give all that money back that you allotted. So for me personally, I was just allotted $20,500 for this upcoming academic year. It's up to the program to be like, hey, I'll give you $50,000, or we're probably just gonna stick at $20,500. And in my case, it's okay because I have Grad Plus loans, thankfully. But for people in the future, you won't have that. This is absolutely insane. In fact, I thought it was so crazy that I actually reached out to my advisor, who actually so happens to teach at the program that I'm in. So I asked for her thoughts. And yeah, shit, she also thought it was insane. So here we are today. So what exactly is the point of this? Why am I making this video? Why do I want you guys to hear about this? For me personally, in my family, I am the first one to pursue a doctoral degree. My parents don't know a ton about student loans and graduate level courses and how the federal government kind of works with student loans. And I honestly don't know much either. And I don't come from wealth, and I'm also in a tough spot. Even though I have Graduate Plus loans on my side, it's still extremely difficult. My point is this: physical therapy is a professional level degree. We spend 7 years to get this degree, and a lot of hours studying, working for free, doing rotations to get this degree. To think that the United States government doesn't believe that it's a professional level degree is absurd. It significantly destroys the fabric of what this field is really supposed to be about, and it's causing a huge disruption for the future of this field. I knew that this field wasn't perfect when I signed up for it. I knew when I applied to schools a year ago that we don't get paid the most money. We should probably get paid more money. It's not sunshines and rainbows out here. There's a lot of people who complain about the field, but that's not really why we joined the field. We joined the field because we want to make a difference and help people who really need help. This is not helping. This is going to destroy and seriously harm future candidates who actually want to make a difference, and they won't choose physical therapy because they simply won't be able to be a physical therapist because they can't afford it. We're now in some random ass temporary wait list, I guess you could call it. And the question of how physical therapy is going to look in a year or two is really up in the air. And this video is not supposed to just be about me. I'm struggling to afford it. A lot of people are. It's more so about the future and the students who just applied to programs that they want to get into. But I'm already here. I'm already in the program. I'm a semester down. I start the fall semester in a couple days. I'm going to have to figure out how I can pay for this. I have had a job during school already. It's helped me a little bit. It's super tough. There's a lot of questions and unknown answers about where this field lies. I just got into it. I'm learning a lot. I knew it wasn't great before I got into it, but that's not why I decided to join. I wanted to join the field to make a difference and be a voice, and that's what I'm doing right now. It concerns me that a lot of students don't even know that this is going on. Students who just applied to start physical therapy next year, you should be aware of this. It sucks to hear, but it's reality. If we are requiring a doctorate to enter this profession, we better make sure that people are able to earn it. And right now, it is extremely difficult to earn it. Thank you.